Saya mau rakyat sama ada kecil atau maha kaya tunduk kepada hukum dan tidak terlepas dari bayar cukai. Tanggungjawab saudara ialah pastikan, terutama yang atas. Maka kalau dapat dilaksanakan, saya percaya hasil kita akan terus meningkat.
In a nation striving for progress and development, the role of taxation cannot be understated. Taxation provides the essential revenue needed to fund public services, infrastructure, and social welfare programs. However, within the borders of Malaysia, a persistent challenge threatens the country's financial stability: tax evasion. Malaysia, a vibrant nation with a growing economy, relies on tax revenue to fuel its progress. Taxation ensures that public services such as healthcare, education, and transportation thrive to meet the needs of its citizens. However, beneath the surface, a parallel economy operates, evading its responsibility and depriving the nation of much needed resources. Tax evasion, the deliberate act of evading tax obligations, robs the Malaysian government of billions of ringgit each year. It hampers the nation's ability to provide the adequate funding for essential services, hindering progress and leaving its impact on society. But what are the methods employed by tax evaders? How substantial is the scale of revenue loss? And what are the consequences for the economy and society? Join us on this journey as we unravel the shadows that shroud the Malaysian tax landscape. Lost Billions: Uncovering the Impact of Tax Evasion in Malaysia's Revenue starts now.
Alright, so underreported income is a common method used to pay less tax. In Malaysia, if you claim to earn less than you actually do, you may face a fine ranging from RM1,000 to RM10,000 and have to pay 200% of the uncharged tax amount. It is important to be aware that various types of income, such as employment income, rental income, dividends, and also royalties, are taxable. Recently, Koh Boon Chai, a business person, is accused of not submitting income statement for the years 2019 to 2021, involving income tax exceeding RM500,000. The scope was found to have failed to submit the statement, which had taxable income amounts of RM760,000 for 2019, RM821,000 for 2020, and RM1.18 million, if I'm not mistaken, for 2021. This means he should have paid taxes amounting to RM147,000 for 2019, 155,000 for 2020, and 242,000 for 2021. Certainly there are. Another way people try to avoid paying taxes is by using offshore tax havens. This means they move their money to account in countries with very low or no taxes. This allows them to escape taxes and keep their wealth hidden. These offshore accounts offer secrecy, making it difficult for tax authorities to trace the funds. A couple of famous examples are the Panama Papers and Paradise Papers. In 2015, the Panama Papers exposed around 2,300 Malaysians who were hiding their money in offshore tax havens. Then in 2016, the Paradise Papers revealed how multinational companies and extremely wealthy individuals were using 19 tax havens to dodge tax. According to a paper by the International Monetary Fund (IMF), tax havens collectively cost government around US $500 billion to maybe US $600 billion per year in lost corporate tax revenue using both legal and illegal methods. There's also another way companies try to lower their tax liability is through transfer pricing manipulation. This happens when multinational corporations artificially set high prices for goods and services exchanged between their subsidiaries in different countries. So by doing this, they can shift their profit to countries with lower tax rates and reduce their tax payments. In Malaysia, each company is taxed individually, so there's no group taxation where companies within the same group can transfer losses or lumps to one another. This creates an incentive for companies to use this method, which is transfer pricing, to move profits, losses, expenses, and receipts within the group to minimize taxes. Shell companies. Shell companies are frequently used to evade tax because they are relatively easy to set up and difficult to trace. One of the main ways people use shell companies for tax evasion is by hiding their taxable income and financial asset in a shell corporation in a different country. Combating tax evasion requires a multifaceted approach, actually. However, I could say through strengthening tax laws, maybe enhancing enforcement capabilities, and also promoting international cooperation for information exchange. These are the things or ways that are very crucial in combating tax evasion.
Each year, the Malaysian government faces a significant revenue loss due to tax evasion. The estimated loss amounts to 665 million ringgit Malaysia as of 2022. This is a substantial figure that cannot be overlooked, as it directly impacts the government's ability to allocate funds for vital sector and public services. Consequences are far-reaching. With reduced revenue, the government struggle to provide adequate funding for sectors such as healthcare, education, and social welfare. This in turn affect the quality and accessibility of these services for the Malaysian population. It hampers the nation's progress and development, hindering the overall well-being of its citizens. Certain sectors bear a heavier burden. Sectors such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure development are directly affected by the revenue loss. Additionally, marginalized communities that rely on government assistance and welfare programs face the brunt of the shortfall. The revenue loss perpetuates income inequality and exacerbates social disparity within the country. Honest taxpayers shoulder an increased burden as a result of tax evasion. With fewer funds available, the government may resort to higher taxes or reduce public services, placing a disproportionate responsibility on those who dutifully fulfill their tax obligation. It creates a sense of unfairness and frustration among honest taxpayers.
Tax evasion is a big problem because it means the government doesn't get the money it needs to invest in important things like roads, hospital, school, and other important areas. When the government doesn't have enough money, it cannot do as much to help the economy, to create jobs, and make sure everyone has a chance to succeed and grow. So, tax evasion hurts economic developments and limits opportunity for a better future. Insufficient tax revenue leads to inadequate funding for healthcare, resulting in longer wait time and limited access to the quality services. There are cases where a retiree with chronic illness spent up to 5 hours during medical checkups experiencing hypoglycemia due to long waits. For example, the government tax revenue in 2020 is projected to drop by 40%, leading to a 20.5% cut in medical budgets and reductions in healthcare services. These budget cuts should have been criticized as it's a short-sighted actions and lack of support for non-COVID-19 cases during that time. Tax evasions widen the gap between the wealthy and less fortunate. It's hampered efforts to address income inequality as limited funds are available for social welfare programs, poverty alleviations, and educational initiatives. This exacerbates social disparity, hindering social mobility and stifling the nation's progress. In this, the erosion of public trust in the tax system and the government ability to effectively collect revenue has long-lasting effects. It undermines confidence in the fairness of the system and can lead to a decline in voluntary compliance among honest taxpayers. This further perpetuates the cycle of revenue loss and socio-economic challenges. Addressing tax evasions require a multi-pronged approach, strengthening enforcement measures, promoting tax education and awareness, and fostering a culture of compliance are essential. Additionally, ensuring that tax policies are fair, transparent, and supportive of economic growth can contribute to a more equitable society. The government should implement a medium-term revenue strategy to improve tax transparency and increase tax revenue as a percentage of GDP, which is currently 15.4%.
The Malaysian government has taken significant steps to address tax evasion, including the establishment of specialized units and task forces dedicated to investigating and prosecuting tax evaders. These units have the necessary resources and expertise to take action against tax evasion cases. One important agency responsible for tax matters in Malaysia is the one that I am in charge with, the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia (IRBM). Under the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia at 1995, IRBM was created to have more autonomy management as well as to improve the quality and effectiveness of tax administration in Malaysia. IRBM is fully committed in combating tax evasion and ensuring fair taxation for everyone. If you have information regarding tax evasion, you can contact IRBM to report it. IRBM employs three approaches to combat tax evasion and foster a fair tax system, which is punishment, education, and communication. The threats of punishment acts as a deterrent with the tax audits, penalties, and rates to used to discourage tax evasion. Studies have shown that higher audit probabilities and penalties deter taxpayer from evading taxes. In Malaysia, higher penalties levied by the tax authority creates awareness and encourage taxpayers to meet their obligations. By employing these strategies, IRBM aims to ensure tax compliance and maintain a just tax environment. Malaysia actively participates in international initiatives like the Common Reporting Standards (CRS) to address cross-border tax evasion. Financial institutions collect and share information with the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia (IRBM), which is then exchanged with other participant jurisdictions. With over 100 jurisdictions involved, Malaysia strengthens tax compliance and transparency. The country also receives information on Malaysian residents from other countries, enhancing domestic tax enforcement. This effort promotes global financial accountability and transparency. IRBM implemented a strategy in 2019 to promote tax compliance and combat tax evasion. The approach emphasized taxpayer education, simplifying tax processes, and strict enforcement. IRBM conducts tax seminars and collaboration with the media to raise public awareness and foster a sense of responsibility. By increasing tax knowledge and promoting a tax-conscious society, IRBM aims to make compliance easier and non-compliance more challenging.
As we come to the end of our documentary on the impact of tax evasion on the revenue of the Malaysian government, it is clear that addressing this issue requires collective action and a commitment to building a fair and equitable society. To combat tax evasion effectively, we must consider a range of recommendations and call for action. To enhance tax compliance and reduce tax leakage, the Malaysian government should invest in advanced technologies like e-invoicing. E-invoicing allows real-time transaction monitoring, making under-invoicing difficult. Italy's experience with e-invoicing results in the detection of VAT credits and increased VAT payments. E-invoicing minimizes errors, saves costs, and improves data transparency. Phased implementation, starting with large businesses, benefit SMEs in preparing and upgrading their systems. E-invoicing offers tax compliance benefits, transparency, and cost efficiency while supporting SMEs' digital transformation. Second, enhancing international cooperation is crucial. Malaysia should continue collaborating with other countries, sharing financial information, and participating in global initiatives aimed at combating cross-border tax evasion. Together, we can create a stronger global framework to deter tax evasion. Third, fostering public awareness and education is key. The government must continue educating individuals and businesses about the importance of tax compliance and the consequences of tax evasion. By instilling a culture of tax compliance, we can promote a fair tax system that benefits all Malaysians. Lastly, there must be a collective responsibility among all stakeholders. Businesses, tax professionals, and individuals must prioritize ethical behavior and fulfill their tax obligations diligently. By embracing transparency and accountability, we can create a society where tax evasion is minimized and the burden is shared equitably. It is through these recommendations and a united call for action that we can build a Malaysia where tax evasion is reduced, revenue is safeguarded, and the nation flourish. We hope this documentary has shed light on the significance of addressing tax evasion and the profound impact it has on the revenue of the Malaysian government. Let us work together towards a fair and equitable society where every individual and business contributes their fair share for the betterment of our nation.
Penyokong atau tidak, cukai wajib bayar dan lembaga hasil dalam negeri wajib menggeledah dan cari elak dan jalan selamat.
Kutipan hasil cukai luar biasa 175 bilion ringgit tahun lepas, tertinggi yang pernah direkodkan institusi itu.